Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. I am with my Gemini gal pal, Toni Greene. Woo! How's it going, Toni?
Hey, Marla, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. As you can see, I'm excited for the season. Halloween, we've got a full moon and we've got an eclipse and we've got Halloween and we've got Day of the Dead.
I know there's so much coming in at once. It's so good. It's so good, but it can be overwhelming for people also, for sure.
There's a lot of potent energy, and I'm have been really working with for the past year and a half, working with my nervous system, calming it down, getting really calm. And I kind of wanted to bring up this subject. So you guys, Toni and I both do readings, do a lot of love readings. We do healings. Toni does hypnosis, readings, psychic medium, all of that. And I do energy work, readings, and then I'm a matchmaker too and a life coach. So we've got a lot of experience here. And I kind of want to talk about some of the things that people come to us with and that can help you, the viewer, in relationships, in manifesting. And I know that we're coming in on the end of the year, and what comes, people don't want to be alone for the holidays, or then the New Year's resolution. Well, this is the year I'm going to find my soulmate. And then Valentine's comes. And so, Toni, what's your best, tip right now that's coming up for if you don't have someone, but you want to really stay integrated, stay calm, and live in that joy and enjoy the season without somebody in your life? Because I know people will call you a lot, even on your show. When is somebody coming? And I'll let you take it away there.
Okay, so first and foremost, I get it. We're single. We don't want to be single. Our society, every culture says you should be partnered, you should be coupled. And it's probably scientifically proven and otherwise proven that when you're with someone that you're in, now let me emphasize this, that you're in a loving, caring relationship, with, you will be healthier, you will be happier.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of most relationships, we are like that. It is loving and caring, and then it can, and we'll get more into that later. But if you're not with someone right now, embrace that.
Mm-hmm.
Just love it. Do the things you don't do when you're coupled. So when we're coupled, we tend to, especially as women, men not so much, they'll still go to their sporting events with their boyfriend, guy friends. They'll still have their guys' night out, or if they do leagues, they'll still have their leagues. If they hunt, they'll still do their hunting. They don't sacrifice. They don't give up. For us, where women are sitting there going, did he text? Yeah, my phone's still working. Are we doing something this weekend? And they're like chillaxing, not worried about it, because they know if they call us, we get. So my biggest thing is do the things, make those girls' nights, rebond with your female friends and your family, start making plans with them, and have something on the calendar. And if a boy or a guy or a man, whatever you want to call it, a partner comes along, don't cancel.
Yeah.
Don't cancel. Don't stop doing the things with your friends, the things with your family. Don't put this person first, no matter how far you are into the relationship. There's 7 days of the week. Most months have 30 days at least.
Yeah.
You can do things. There's another time he can also work around your schedule. But if we're going through the holidays, and here we are, and we're going through single, the most important, number one thing, don't look at that as something bad. And if you go to see family and they're like, oh, did you meet anybody yet? Say, oh, thank goodness, no. I'm still loving my single girl stage, my single boy era. Yeah. And they never do that to boys. They're like, you stay single as long as you can.
Yeah.
You don't let a girl get you and tie it out. But women, they're like, oh, do you have a bun in the oven yet? Oh, like, So embrace this singleness, realize who you are, make lists of everything you love, go to restaurants with your female friends, or if you're a guy, just change the role. Make lists of, go to restaurants, make lists of the foods and the restaurants that you love, so that when you are with somebody, maybe you can do it with them, maybe you try something new, but you know who you are, what you want, and what you love, and embrace that. Now, we do all want someone in our life that is good and healthy, and we're hoping. Don't be desperate. And we don't realize we're desperate until we're putting up with things we thought we would never put up with. And we don't look at it as being desperate. We look at it as being, well, I'm in love, and because I started this, I want to make it work. Because I've invested a month, 6 months, a year, I want to try to make it work. And I think most people have been in that situation, male, female, otherwise. We've been in that situation where we started something, we loved the person, and we just wanted to see how far we could take it. You know, we just really wanted to make it work. Yeah. Know who you are and be strong about yourself, so that in the beginning, when you see that very first thing, you are not, I don't like the word desperate, but you're not so eager to try to make it work, because the right situation, we won't have to force. It'll be good.
Yeah, that's the thing, is if sometimes I'll get a call and they'll say, well, I'm seeing this guy. I mean, I'm talking to him, but he hasn't texted for, a week. Is he interested? What's going to happen? And I'm like, no, if a man is interested in you, he is going to call, he is going to text, he is going to get in touch with you, because he's interested. He wants to be with you. He wants to make sure that Saturday night is locked down for him, not for some other man. And so, and the other thing is closure. A woman sometimes, well, I want closure. I want to find out why, I just need to talk to him one more time. But the fact is, if he's not talking to you anymore, or blocked you or something, that is your closure. That's your closure. And putting yourself so high up on a pedestal, loving yourself so much that you wouldn't want somebody in your life who's you're a second thought, or you're hoping that will text you back. I mean, somebody that loves you, somebody that's worthy of being with you, is going to text, he's going to call, he's going to take you out. And so I think we can as women, take that, like you were saying, desperation, but it's that longing, that need to connect with somebody who's not that into you, just not that into us. So we can take the focus back on ourselves, and what can we do for ourselves?
One thing I'd like to add to that is, and this is so important, and us girlies, we don't do it. We meet someone and we see all of their beautiful aspects, mm-hmm. and we become their fan. And the one, if anybody walks away from this with one thing, let this be the one thing. When you put somebody on a pedestal, let's say you meet I'm going to just use the woman to man, but if you're a man, do it to woman. If you're a woman and you meet a man and you just like everything about this man, and you instantly think, oh my goodness, he's the one. And we start to build up all those good things, and all of a sudden he's on a pedestal. We're no longer a partner, we become their fan.
Yeah.
And they know that, and they know that they have us. Now, every thing that I've heard from all my guy friends, from all the therapy, counseling videos and so on that I've watched, and especially the ones coming from men, mm-hmm. they say a man knows probably by the end of the second or third date where you fit in his life. Yeah. So we don't have to hang around for 3 or 6 months trying to figure out, who am I in his life? If by the end of that second or third date, you don't feel him integrating you in that way, you're not it. Move on. And that getting closure, don't worry about why you're not it for him. Mm-hmm. I mean, whether it's at the end of the first or the second date, whether it's at the end of a relationship, sometimes even if you ask them, they're not going to be honest. Mm-hmm. They're not going to say, Well, yeah, I met somebody else that I'm now using as a F buddy. They're never going to say that. And we want to believe, naturally, we do, that we meant more to these people than we may have. And when we look back, this is why I say never, when things happen, don't give the benefit of the doubt. Cut it off and let them prove you were wrong, or let them move on. Because when you give the benefit of the doubt, every benefit that you gave for every doubt that you had, for every instant that came up, when you break up, you go back and you go, oh yeah, there was the thing, there was the thing, there was the thing, there was the thing. I was really this. And we don't want to admit that to ourselves, because we went in wholehearted, we loved, we tried, but we shouldn't have to try that hard for somebody. It should be an equal ebb and flow with the person. And we don't realize that as women, because traditionally men have had all the power.
Yeah.
They get to decide if it moves forward, if it doesn't, but so do we.
Yeah.
So do we. If we go on a date with somebody who, like, I don't know, one of my pet peeves, somebody who's like chewing with their mouth open and smacking their food. Yeah, I'm never eating with you again. I don't care who you are. I can't. No, I had a female friend that did that. We just stopped going to eat. I was like, don't even chew gum around me, please. Like, your food is about to fall out your mouth. Stop. It was like so cringeworthy to me. But we know too, we can't just say, okay, does he want me? We have to start being more discerning and say, and if you don't have the self-confidence or the self-worth to say, do I want this guy? Pull yourself out of it and say, is this guy good enough for, if I had a daughter, would he be good enough for my daughter? Would I want him to be with my daughter? Would I want my daughter to be in this, or my sister, or whoever you love, my mom? Would I want them to be with this guy? Then why am I? I need to love myself and think that much of myself. And that's the biggest tip I would give for those things. And if you're somebody you love came to you and said, this guy ghosted me and won't tell me why, you, as a logical human, would say, because they're a jack-o'-lantern. They're just a jack-o'-lantern. Thank goodness. Let them go.
Right.
Just let them go. You don't need that. So yeah.
Yeah. There are, that you can get into that pattern of the guy ghosts you, then he comes back, and then the woman will take him back, and then they'll ghost and take him back. And that's just an awful feeling. So yes, you are interviewing them. Where are they going to fit in your life? Are they good enough? How do they speak to you? What's their relationship with their mother? How do they talk about women? All of these things. One of my pet peeves at the dinner table is, I don't know if you guys think this is snobby, but when a guy is eating and then he scoops, like, let's say there's some peas or food, and scoops it with his hand onto his fork with his hands, instead of, that's why you have a knife and a fork. I guess I grew up, I was in the restaurant industry so long, and I had a French chef husband, and I was around the Europeans a lot, and they know how to use their silverware. They're taught in school. This was interesting because a friend of mine, Natalie, she says, oh yeah, we're taught how to, if somebody doesn't know how to hold their knife and fork or use it, then that means they're not educated, because we're taught that in school. And so I'm like, oh, not Americans. They're just scooping things up.
You know what? I was watching a video on French schools in France, and their lunches, and their lunches are actually gourmet food. Mm-hmm. And it's how to serve during lunch. It's also a class where they're teaching how to serve other people appropriately and use their utensils appropriately. It's all of that. And it shocked me, because I grew up in American schools where Yeah, it's
About
nothing
anything.
like that.
Also, they don't show up at somebody's house for dinner or something empty-handed. You don't do that. You bring
Yes.
flowers or you bring, and typically they'll bring flowers because if you bring a bottle of wine, they'll think that's insinuating that their choice of wine is not good. So you're bringing wine. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So it's very interesting, the
yeah.
cultures. But this is, I'm talking years and years ago when I would go there a lot. So who knows, things change, right? Culture changes and pop culture and all of that. But I think it's still, I had a French friend come and visit me recently. I hadn't seen him in years and years. He came to a little dinner party at my house and he says, what can I bring? And he was on his motorcycle and he was just in town up in Seattle. And I said, don't bring anything. I have wine. I have everything. And here he comes. He goes, I couldn't come empty handed. And he had wine. He had an orchid plant on his motorcycle, but he had to bring it. It was
Oh,
so cute. Yeah.
that's
Very
so
cute.
awesome. I
So
love that.
that brings me back to what are these? Is the man that you're so interested in? Is he caring? Is he bringing you a little gift? Does he pull out your chair? Is he thinking of you? How are you feeling? Is the temperature okay? Or is it him? Does he show this caring?
That's somebody who is really thinking about you. And here's the way I want to say it to you guys. Instead of saying, does he love me?
Mhm.
Because we can have love for a homeless person on the street. We can have compassion and love and say, oh my gosh, I hope this person does so much. What we want to change the verbiage to is, does this person care for me? And do they care about me? And are they planning a future with me?
Mhm.
Whether it's a future of next weekend, next month, are they making plans to spend time with me? And are they considering what I would like and want, or am I the go along on what they want?
Right. Yeah. That word love, I think we're too attached to that too, because it's, you can say it in the moment or this or that, but it's more the actions.
And I'm going to tell you this, everybody has a different understanding of what love is, depending on what they grew up with and what they've experienced so far in their relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we might see love as A, B, and C, where they see love as, well, I paid the bills, so I love you.
I just wanted to talk about your hypnosis. And so what if somebody, just talk a little bit about what you usually do with hypnosis, what it's really effective with. Let's say somebody is in a pattern of picking the wrong, how so many women I talk to as a matchmaker and they're back on the market and they have picked the same type of guy over and over. And I've done it too. Many of us, narcissistic qualities or non-committal guy or whatever it is. Is there a way to go in and do hypnosis to change that pattern and shift?
Yeah, absolutely. So hypnosis is amazing because we can pinpoint exactly what we want to work on, and we can clear the programming for that and heal or clear, whatever you want to say, the programming of why they pick that type of person. And not always, but typically our partners represent our mother, our father, a sibling, or our first significant other. And then we just repeat that pattern after that. The attributes, the negative and or positive attributes of those people that we may need to heal. So with hypnosis, we can go in and we can heal all that caused you to pick this partner, reprogram the mind to pick healthy partners. Now, even if we get a healthy partner, let's say we haven't had hypnosis, we've had no healing work, and we pick a very healthy partner, our mind isn't going to be able to accept maybe that this person is healthy. And we will just look for those things or behaviors. We're ready for them to happen because that's all we've ever known in a relationship. Right. So we have to change the mind, so to say, to believe that there are healthy people and we do get healthy people and we can be in healthy relationships and all the unhealthiness is gone. And hypnosis is amazing at that. absolutely amazing for that. Yeah, I want to touch on two different things. So the first thing is, listen, man, woman, in between, whatever. If somebody ghosts you or doesn't call or takes a break, that's their pattern. Let them go immediately. Don't learn the hard way. And that's the beginning of a trauma bond.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what trauma bond is, there's so much information about that. And Marla, you brought this up earlier and I didn't address it and I just wanted to. That's something this person will do every time, and they'll have what they consider a legitimate reasoning for it, but you'll never know the real reasoning why they're doing this. Okay. So if somebody takes that weekend off, or they just don't call you for a couple days and then they give you a justification that has something to do with you, once they don't reach out, if you've reached out to them and they don't respond in a reasonable amount of time and they weren't in the hospital or had heavy dental work, but their thumbs still work, they could still text, it's time to just let that go and move on to somebody who's truly interested. And I want to help you understand this and to not make excuses for these people. When do you ghost somebody? When do you ignore somebody? When do you leave somebody unread? When do you not respond to somebody's text? It's when you really don't care. You
That's
really
right.
don't give a happy hoo-hoo about that person.
That's good.
Oh, yes. Oh, woo. And we have to realize that's exactly how this person is. No matter how they show up, no matter how we want them to feel or how we can't project our feelings onto them. We have to look at their actions. And if this is their action, we have to go to the logical part of our brain and say, okay, when I treat a person this way, it's because I feel this way about this person. That's the logical truth of the matter. Now, the second thing I want to bring up, you guys, I am shooketh. I want you to go to Marla's site. Marla learned this new healing work. She doesn't know I'm about to drop this on everybody. She's so modest. She has done it to me twice.
I did it to you.
She did it to me. And we did it over the phone. It was so effective. The first time, every experience so far has been different and amazing. I am intuitive, but I think a lot of people will have visuals on this. It's called shamanic water spirit healing. Shamanic water spirit healing. The things that I experienced during this with Marla, and she uses also her intuition on it. And she really, it was so amazing. I can't even express how amazing. And just the experience of the healing itself it was very different than any other experience.
And we did it over the phone. It's distant, so we can do it over the phone. So you don't have to worry about, she's
being in person. And yes, and you have to be able to lay down. So have a comfortable spot to lay down. But the things I saw, which were good things, and you may not, and that's okay. It's okay if you don't, because not everybody has visual, but you will. It was just amazing. I don't want to say too much, because if you don't have that experience, I don't want you to think, oh, it didn't work on me because I didn't, feel something going out of the left side. No. Everybody's going to have their own experience according to what they need. I can't wait until our next one. She's doing
we're going to do it next.
Marla's going to do me again.
Week. So the link is in the show notes, so you can go check it out on my website. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for bringing that up.
I really recommend have that experience. Mm-hmm. It's amazing experience. So please, everybody, if you're drawn to it, if you feel it, and it will be worth it.
The type of energy work and clearing, and it can bring up release trauma, different things. So we'll go into it, but you can check it out on my website.
Yeah.
Thanks,
cheers,
Toni.
my girl.
So cheers. Thanks for stopping by. And you guys, all the links are in the show notes to connect with us and leave us comments about what you've going through with your relationships. Have you been ghosted and then continually take the guy back every time he comes back? and then make excuses for him because he was busy at work or he was going through
Yes.
this, let us know because we want to know.
Put it below. Also, have you had those experiences with guys who don't return your text? Put it below. Tell your story below, because if you tell your story below, it will help others understand what's going on with them in their relationship, and then tell how that story ended.
Yes,
that's the most important part, because we always think, if I'm the understanding girl, if I take him back, if I'm just better than all the exes. Listen, if so many women have already gone through this, you're just the next on the list. And yeah, so tell what, like Marla said, if you've been ghosted on the phone, in person, if they kept taking breaks, and then how long did that go on and how did it end?
Yes.
Please share that with us, because it will help so many other people.
Okay. Much love, everybody. Thanks, Toni.
Marla, thank you so much for having me on. I love you. You're the best. You are.